1, 2, 3. Okay.
Hey, Seth, flash 5 up there just so we can check the alignment. Or, I guess, 4. Well. What's up, Tammy?
I feel like I have to clear my throat constantly. I'm like, what is going on? I'm getting nervous.
It's an interesting lineup today. A little different. A little different lineup today.
Is that?
Here, I'll press.
Okay.
Now you can hear me a little better, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Do this, Tammy.
All right. Do it. I'm ready. Can I look at the camera?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Consider it like a date. Welcome inside Gore Arena, the start of a 2-game matchup. The Presbyterian Blue Hose and the Campbell Fighting Camels here inside Gore Arena. We welcome you courtside with volunteer assistant coach Tammy Freeze. Evan Budrovich get you set for first serve. Tammy, this PC team dealing with a litany of injuries, and this Campbell squad trying to play consistent at home. What's the key for the Camels tonight?
Well, they always come out fired up, ready for that first match, but it's all about passing. When they pass in system and have those passes on the net, their middles are quick, and they run a fast tempo offense.
Campbell at 7-3. They have some work cut out for them here in the rest of the conference slate. And Tammy, you think about it in the Big South, High Point so dominant at 10-0. What do the Camels have to do tonight to find their rhythm, especially in the passing side of things?
I think, Layla Green's been so effective for them, so her coming out, she plays all 6 rotations. It's going to be important for her to get started pretty early on and getting some kills. And just having that energy and that focus. They've been dominating in first matches against teams, so we'll see what happens.
You see Layla Green, the top offensive player for this club, second in the conference in points. And for Presbyterian, without Trinity Williams, the junior outside hitter tonight, where does the production come from for Coach Corinne Burgess' club?
Well, Presbyterian's definitely going to look to their leader in Erin Cook. She hits for them, she sets for them, she's an upperclassman, and I think they're just really going to rely on her to lead that team and she's going to have to be really effective against blocking against Campbell.
Maddie Miner misses the opening serve, and a quick point for Presbyterian. A PC club that is 0-6 at home. They've dealt with a litany of injuries. And here's the senior middle blocker, Allie Wright, out of Simpsonville, South Carolina, to serve. Miner in system, finds Page for the first point.
And that's exactly how Campbell's going to need to pass. That was a perfect pass. Melody Page up really quick, and she's really hard to defend when she has a ball like that.
Page, third in the conference in hit percentage. How about Cook all over the court to bump set that one deep. Miner finds Green. Good dig on the soft touch, but it goes out. An error for Cook makes it 2-0. Here's Chloe Cook, no relation. Difficult serve, forces a deep return from Cairns. Chance in transition. Cook goes backside. There's Miner with the dig. Kate Menz gets her first start of the year and causes trouble on that return. Nice dump set from Miner.
That was again a great pass. That was great for Maddie to see that. The defense just kind of hanging out, not expecting her to dump. She doesn't dump often, but she knows the right time to dump.
Risky serve that just sneaks over. Paige Cairns, a lot is asked of her tonight with no Trinity Williams. And I believe that hit the net. The play continues. Green smacks one down line. Gets another touch to finish it off.
I think the Presbyterian's middle blocker did get a piece of that, so that's why they kept playing.
Layla Green, top 10 in points and kills in this league. Taking a huge step from year one. Good dig by Cook in the back row. Green again, nearly to the floor, but dug out perfectly by Stenko. Campbell in transition. Menz on the back set, misses long.
Presbyterian's doing a really great job of just digging balls, keeping balls alive. Even though they've sent a few free balls, they're keeping the ball in play.
Presbyterian comes into this league, comes into this match, fifth in opponent hit percentage. They've had a tough time on defense. And a team that did very well last year, a fourth seed in the conference, made it to the semifinals. That was one area that head coach Krim Burgess wishes her team was fully healthy this year because of the growth they had from one year to the next, as there's an ace for Presbyterian.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year, just all these teams having to take so long, over 300 and some days since they had played, I think, their last match, the last tournament. And Presbyterian they ended on a really good note in 2019.
But they won 6 of their final 8 to end the season. But right now, just 2 wins on the new year. Layla Green blocked at the net, and Groholski taking advantage. Makeda there as well. That's a nice block. Here's Sierra Jones, the senior from North Carolina, Hendersonville. Menz on the back set, tools the block.
That was a great turn by Menz to hit that outside blocker's left hand to go out of bounds.
Claren Fector, the freshman from Powell, Ohio, to serve. And picks up an ace.
That was a nice float serve. That's what Campbell's they've talked about serving aggressive and to get Presbyterian out of system, and they're gonna pick on those outside hitters.
Last year, Campbell led the league in aces, their third this season. Jones on a back set to Cairns. Great dig. Elise Gross keeps it up. The point continues. Falling in. Boy, the transition play helps out Campbell.
Campbell being really scrappy on defense. I love how Elise went with her left hand to touch that ball. That's something that left backs train on, and she executed that well.
There's Gross in the back row again. Green on the move, right into the block. Makeda, the freshman middle, causing trouble. Jones in transition off to Cairns. Into the block of Wilson. Campbell with 2 blocks in this first set for a 4-point lead. And some service issues. 2 aces for Campbell. Presbyterian, they give up the most aces of any team in this conference, so some work to be done. The overpass somehow results in a point. I'm not sure who did it. But point Campbell and a timeout for Corinne Burgess of PC. We'll take the timeout as well here on ESPN+.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our string.
Cool.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities, in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Welcome back inside Gore Arena. You see Greg Gorel's huddle, the head coach for Campbell. His club looking for consistency. They are 5-0 in first matchups of these series, but have had trouble in the second games of these matchups. Looking very impressive here tonight.
Yeah, they're already hitting 278, very efficient where they're hitting. Their passing has been in system, and that's why we see Presbyterian hitting negative. They've had a lot of out-of-system balls, as we call it, so meaning that the setter's been having to run past the attack line to set.
Campbell has targeted Paige Cairns tonight. That's the 3rd ace against the defensive player. The sophomore has had to play a lot more rotations with Trinity Williams out with an ACL tear. And more communication for PC. How as a player do you overcome that when a team is targeting you on the serve?
You either have to respond and say let that last ball go, or as Presbyterian just did, they just made a change in their serve receive pattern.
Here's Cairns to swing. Now Green in transition goes to the far corner. Aaron Cook nicely dug out by Minor. Wilson get a good hand on it. Green cross-court swing is out.
I think Layla Green was trying to find some other part of the court. She's hit at Anna Hewitt for Presbyterian, their libero, who leads the league in number of digs, and she's showing that she can cover a lot of courts. That makes it difficult on the outside hitter.
Best part about Anna Hewitt, after her last 2 matches against Upstate, she spent more time talking about every dig she missed, according to Coach Burgess in her meeting, than every dig she got, which was nearly 30 a match. Layla Green down the pipe. What has allowed Green to take this step as an offensive hitter in year 2?
Layla's had to really she focused a lot of her passing. I think she knows now that people are going to come after her, expect that. And she just wants to do really well in everything that she does on the court.
Great dig by Mitter. Nearly a point as that was stuck up by Sparkman. And a kill. Aaron Cook, the junior from Harrodsburg, California, is asked to do a lot for this Presbyterian team.
Erin, she has a really heavy arm. She hits a heavy ball, so it's interesting to see if she's going to be able to get as many attempts to put that pressure on Campbell.
Service mistake makes it 14-6 Campbell in his first set. PC with that kill by Cook just got back to a 0 hitting percentage. It's a tough way to play against the Campbell team that's been rolling at home. 3-1 here in Gore Arena. Green, the deep serve, finds the back line.
Again, that aggressive float serves, that's what Campbell wanted to do going into this match is get them out of system, put that pressure on serve receive.
4 aces for Campbell tonight. Nearly 5 as that's bumped up. And a wide shot going back over. That's Casey Battle, the freshman, with the miss. Remember, this Presbyterian team without their second leading hitter, Trinity Williams, out for the year. And Green with a service error gives it right back.
And that's sometimes like what you have to give when you're aggressive serving team is you're going to have errors. Hopefully all those errors are always out behind the end line. And that's just the risk you kind of take with being an aggressive serving team, but you have to minimize the errors.
Mitter on a perfect back set, dug out beautifully by Hewitt. Off the hands of Collin. Mitter gliding across the court, finds Cook for the kill. First points for the freshman of Nacogdoches, Texas. And I practiced that about 10 times before this match. Tammy, you've been big on Chloe Cook. What impresses you about the freshman?
Chloe is just, she's dynamic, she's aggressive. She has a lot of different shots. If you watch her arm swing, she'll turn her hand to really work off blocks or really find some cross-court shots. And she just has this confidence that you don't often see in young players, especially with playing as much as Chloe does.
Looking middle and missing long that time is, oh no, we got a tip. Allie Wright gets a tip at the net. Point Presbyterian. That's what makes this matchup unique. You have 2 freshmen in Hewitt and Cook that have won 5 Freshman of the Week awards in the first 6 weeks.
Very impressive, and just speaks to kind of the quality of recruiting and the players that the coaches in the Big South are getting.
Corinne Burgess and Greg Laurel, also the 2 longest tenured coaches in the league at 8 years apiece. They both joked pregame they can't believe the 2 most experienced coaches left. As that ball touches the floor and the kill from Cairns. Here's Samantha Stanko out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Green to the floor on the float serve. Good touch by Stanko. Now Campbell in transition. The bump set to Cook. Wright saves it, but that's a double touch. Campbell is 6 points from the set.
Again, a great swing by Chloe to find that cross court, especially in Presbyterian's defense. But Anna Hewitt, I mean, just covering. That was a good touch on a dig. That's a lot of ground she's covering that her team's relying on her to cover.
Anna Hewitt second in this conference. 5 digs a set, just trailing Abby Bottomley of High Point. There's Hewitt to the floor, keeping that ball up. And Cook frees it over. Minor back set to Menz. Hewitt the free ball. Menz, soft touch, nearly touches floor. Minor goes middle, Page terminates.
That was a great decision, Maddie Minor, to go to Melody Page, especially that was 2 free balls in a row from Presbyterian, a down ball. That's something you got to take advantage of so you can have a perfect pass and definitely get your middle going.
Keep in mind this Campbell team, first in the conference in assists per set, 14 of them a set. Nice dig by Minor, robbing right of a kill. Hewitt the same. Bump set picked up. Cairns hits it wide, and a great defensive point goes to Campbell. Another timeout for Corinne Burgess. Tammy, what's been clicking for Campbell here in set 1?
Well, they're siding out at over 65%, over 66%, and the team that sides out most efficiently is the team that is going to be winning the set. And that's where Campbell, again, they're passing well, even though they're targeting Layla Green sometimes, she's passing in system. And with that fast offense, it's very hard to stop Campbell when they are in system.
A fast offense that's 9th in the country in assists per set, and already tonight 5 assists from Maddie Minor, getting everybody involved.
Yes, and even playing defense and getting that last touch there to keep her team alive. That's great. Campbell's attacked more. If you watch Presbyterian, they're just really struggling to on that first contact of passing. Even some of their digs, they're just out of system. They've had to send a lot more free balls and not get as many attempts.
Greg Worrell knows with just 3 weeks left in the season how important this match is tonight, because Tammy, Charleston and High Point are playing each other this weekend. If any team were to go 0-2 in that stretch, it opens the door for Campbell to slide back in.
And I think actually even if each team, if they were to split, and then Campbell can continue to beat out High Point in the rest of their season, that probably puts for some interesting scenarios.
So Tammy, you were a coach at the collegiate level, especially at Division I level. Do you look at the standings every night? How do you manage in a short season? How do you evaluate those things?
Right. I think you look, but you want to keep in mind there's always that goal. Like the goal is to win the conference and to play well. And things can always happen with different teams, different scenarios. And so you just keep playing no matter what the standings say.
Presbyterian at 2-6, trying to get their season rolling. Cook comes sliding in. Good defense by Presbyterian. Makeda dug out by Fector. Green takes her shot from the back row.
Great aggressive approach by Layla Green, and that was a nice set by Maddie Miner. They don't run the back row attacks a lot, but that was a great opportunity to get Layla involved.
Layla Green engaged in this first set, 5 kills. Cook sets it up, right denied. Green got a piece of Miner. Now Cook in transition. Feeds Cairns into the net. Did not touch Campbell. 2 points from the set. Coach Krimberg just really asks a lot of Erin Cook for PC.
That's a lot to run the offense as well as block, as well as be a go-to hitter.
Cook leads this team in kills coming in as a service error. It's interesting, Tammy, in this match, 5 service aces and 3 service errors for Campbell.
Yeah, and again, back to that aggressive. All their errors have at least been out past the inline, which as a coach, I like, because you're serving aggressive as long as you have. There's a percentage that you want to be within, usually like 10% error percentage when it comes to serving.
There's a deep swing by Sydney Miller, the sophomore of Cypress, Texas. Set point. An efficient Campbell first set. They're hitting .257, holding Presbyterian to a negative hit percentage. Tough set by Cook. Overpass, point Presbyterian. That's Jordan Makeda.
That's a really tight ball. I don't know if Maddie Miner wouldn't have gone up on that they could have called the blocker over a little bit. I don't know that it quite got into the plane.
It's the little minute things coaches think about. That's why we love having you on. Tammy Freeze, a Campbell player in her career, a coach in multiple conferences at the Division I level. Kate Mans right into the block. Makeda does it again.
That was a really nice press by Presbyterian's block there. I will say they've gotten quite a few touches within this set, and that's one that's a stuff block. They ended that one.
Now for the set. Green into the block. Second chance. Dug out by Hewitt. Now Cook, who's been setting, gets a swing and finds the near line.
It's a really nice cross-court shot there. Our block was probably a little too far out. Campbell's block was a little too far out on that. If Aaron can keep doing that, Presbyterian will be back in this game.
A 4-0 run to save the set. Bodies everywhere for Presbyterian. Page middle. Good scoop by Cook. Green terminates set 1. Her 5th kill of the set makes it Campbell 25-13. We'll head to set 2 after this on ESPN+.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan this.
Okay. How long's this break, though?
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Pepsi Wild Cherry.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
I know that must have been tough, especially if you're the only coach and you're doing everything from just running the program to planning practice and not having someone, I'm sure, to bounce off ideas was probably tough.
Greg Gorel's team rolled in that first set. They hit 220 en route to a convincing 25-13 win. And Tammy, that's been the question. When this team is clicking, they're very good. But how do they always keep that going?
Right. I think it comes down to just that approach that you come into the next day. So, or even just the next set. I think they're probably feeling really confident now, and they love being on their home court. So if they continue to pass in the system and run the middles, they won't have any trouble. But they have to continue that up and see if Presbyterian makes any adjustments.
Presbyterian 2-2 on the road this year. A win at Gardner-Webb, a win at Radford. In an interesting series, Tammy, they got swept in the first match, reverse sweep Radford in the second match. Kind of the dynamic nature of these back-to-back days.
Yeah, the back-to-back matches against the same team have been so interesting to watch throughout the conference this year, and just I'm curious to know like how the coaches feel about it, how the teams have felt about it. Because normally in a normal season we would have, you play a team, then you have a few weeks, and the next time you see them, okay, you can watch some more film and adjust. These are quick turnaround. What can you figure out in a few hours between the two matches?
That's a double touch on Aaron Cook to start set two. Great point, because you're sitting in a hotel room, right? And even Corinne Burgess told us in that Radford series, they had 45 minutes sitting after breakfast to watch tape, came out the next day and reverse swept the Radford Highlanders.
And it really is, you have a quick turnaround to see if you want to switch up your lineups, other adjustments, going off of what that team did that day versus you, versus being able to watch and see what they did versus other teams, and hoping you're making those right decisions.
Layla Green, who leads everyone with 5 kills tonight, serves, collecting an ace. It's got to be interesting as a coach, right? 6 aces, 3 errors. The errors have gone up this year, but the aces have gone up. That's tough to manage as a head coach. There's another ace for Green.
Yeah, and that comes from Presbyterian, just communication, moving their feet a little quicker. It's having to respond. It's receive. There's a lot of pressure, but you got to let that last ball go and move on to this next serve.
Hewitt returns that serve. Makeda on the slide, sneaks it through. Allie Wright to serve. Her dad played baseball at UNC Asheville. Grandfather played football at Newberry College. Very familiar to the Carolinas. Overpass by Cook is dumped down.
And that's exactly what you do with an overpass. You put it back on the other side really quickly. Slight move it to the left or right.
Haley Groholski with the point. One of 3 middles that Coach Burgess will rotate a ton. Menz sneaks it through the block. The emergence of Kate Menz the last 2 weeks has been interesting to watch.
Yeah, Kate Menz doesn't get a lot of attempts, but when she does, she can often find the hole. And I think Campbell puts her over there because they really rely on her. She's a great blocker.
She had 6 kills in the last Gardner Webb match. And with a touch of the net, point Presbyterian. Greg Goro has rotated his lineup. You see Sarah Kala mostly as a right side hitter this year. More Kate Menz and Layla Green playing all 6 of those rotations.
And again, Kate Menz and Sarah Kala both really good at blocking. And if you look at most teams, their outside hitters get most of the attempts, and you want someone over there that can defend them.
That's a double touch, a lift on Maddie Miner. The difference between those pocket touches and a clean one is gotta be tough for Bonnie O'Connor, our second referee on the sideline.
I know I don't always see them.
Well, you were an offensive-minded player, Tammy. You were an outside hitter. You would never call something on your own set.
Absolutely not.
Erin Cook with the kill. That's her 3rd. Whereas a defensive player would never call a pancake, right? It's always going to hit the hand. It never touches the floor.
It's always up. Always up. Erin Cook, another great swing. Again, if they can get her more attempts, I think that's going to be helpful for Presbyterian in this set.
Jones kept it up. Freed over by Miller, who launches it wide.
It's a good tip placement by Chloe Cook. Presbyterian runs a rotational defense, and so you often see the setter is right up behind the block on an outside swing, and so Chloe placed the ball right to her. It takes the setter out of it, and then you get an error on an attack.
Here's Emily Mitter, the sophomore, to serve. Jones goes back set to Miller. Now Collin, dominant swing down the line.
Sarah Kala hits such a heavy ball, and
I got to get a radar gun on that thing. When she
so
gets
hard.
rolling, it comes off. I'll have to borrow one from the baseball team across the street. Sydney Miller goes cross court to Mitter. Cook with a soft touch through the double. I guess I should say a smart touch because she found the right hole to tool the block.
That was close to Anna Hewitt, but a little off speed, so Anna Hewitt had to push forward on that and didn't quite get it.
This is a 3-0 Campbell run. Jones out to Miller. Through the block, point Presbyterian. Sydney Miller, a transfer from Prairie View A&M, her first season in Clinton, South Carolina. And now Abby Smarkman, the redshirt freshman from Boise, Idaho, checks in. How about that? The timeouts are already set up with the seats. It's very smart for the PC bench. I like it. Paulo with a one-handed block.
Well, that definitely will give you some energy. That was a great recovery, and for Sarah Collins just to stick that right hand up there and just hold that press. Pretty impressive.
How's that possible? It's not like her hand's a brick. I mean, I know she hits it pretty hard, but that's tough to do. A block of the slide from Makeda. Nice touchdown line. Point Casey Battle. So many freshmen on the court for Presbyterian. They'll rotate 4 to 5 in at a time. And that was Casey Battle of Charlotte, North Carolina. Mitter to Kala, who was feeling it in the second set.
I think that one was even harder than the last one by Sarah Kala.
When Kala's on the right side, what makes her game so much more effective?
I think she's comfortable there. She played right side in club, quite often. And so, and I think this year she's really embraced just wanting to be that blocker on that side and just that being comfortable with what she knows.
Shot long from Aaron Cook. So Sarah Kalla in this set alone, 2 kills. Here's Haley Wilson to serve. Keep an eye on Wilson, top 10 in hit percentage and aces in this conference. You don't see that from a middle too often. Green is blocked. Nice save, but it won't count. The roof for Allie Wright.
And I think this is where, like, Campbell, when they get into the second sets, they face teams, okay, the Presbyterian has now seen them. It's not so new, and now they're starting to make adjustments on their block, and that's where Campbell's going to have to make adjustments on their swings.
Return error for Layla Green, ace Presbyterian and Aaron Cook. Got a couple of talented cooks dicing up dinner tonight. What's cooking in the freeze house tonight is the real question. As Cook serves it wide.
Better ask my husband because he's doing it.
I thought you were going to say some Big South volleyball. I was waiting for you to slide.
Oh, yeah. Big South volleyball, of course. As he cooks dinner for the kids.
As he's probably watching March Madness that begins tonight. This is the crazy month of March in this conference because, Tammy, the next 2 weekends will decide who's the regular season champion, and it's an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be a little, I guess, April madness when it comes to NCAA volleyball.
Page in transition with the point. 4 kills for Melody Page tonight, and in her last 2 matches, she's hitting .550.
That's just incredible efficiency. Middle blockers typically, just because of those quick tempo sets, have a higher efficiency, but to be, I usually expect a college middle to be in the 300s, but to be in the 500s, phenomenal.
There's a block for Page as well. And now Campbell responds with a 3-0 run, forcing a timeout by Presbyterian. We'll take the break as well.
I did not fill out a bracket. My coworker sent me one.
Wow.
But I didn't. Am I still allowed?
I filled out a women's bracket, actually.
Did you?
I did that with the coaches.
Yeah. So I thought, they moved it. I thought like Chris Haymeyer's cutout got put way up there.
He's back behind you now.
Oh, he's behind us now.
Campbell on a 3-0 run, forcing a timeout by Presbyterian. We asked Greg Worrell the difference between match 1 and match 2 in these series. Is it mental? Is it physical? And he said part of it is just bringing the same mindset from game 1 into game 2. As Minor collects an ace.
I think it's definitely very much that, and especially if you're used to that first day, you dominate, you stick to your game plan, things come easier. But it's still approaching that the next day. You still have to stick to that game plan. You still have to expect that the other team is going to bring their best.
Right with the bump set over. Page finds the floor on a great set by Minor.
Presbyterian only able to get a single block up on Melody Page so far, and it just gives her so much space of where she can put the ball.
5-0 scoring run. Cook with a tight set. Good swing by Wright. Page hit the net. One thing we've seen from PC in the second set, good presence from their middles in the front.
Yeah, Presbyterian's getting their passes a little more and digs up towards the setter, so then the middles can run something and definitely run something besides just a quick one.
Here's Samantha Stenko from Coastal Christian High School, Wilmington. Page. Good dig by Fector. Green into the far corner. Layla Green is asked to do so much on this team play. All 6 rotations, lead the team in kills, a double-double machine. What's impressed you most about Miss Green this year?
I think this year, from her freshman to sophomore year, has just been her mental toughness and kind of embracing a little bit more of that pressure. But I think she's comfortable in running those 6 rotations. She has to remember just that when she makes a mistake like that, a service error, you just got to go on to the next point. But I think she's presented herself really well and be able to handle that pressure.
We have a substitution error on Campbell, out of position, point PC.
Out of rotation. I don't know if they're saying. I'm trying to think of who was out of rotation. So Melody Page has to be on the far side of Kate Mintz. Kate has to be closest to the net, in front of the setter.
Cook over the double. Nice touch by Wright. Campbell in transition. Minor to men's. Beautiful soft touch.
I think Kate Mintz, again, she doesn't often get the most attempts on the team, but when she does, she has a great way of finding a spot on the court.
Men's hitting 200 with 4 kills tonight. Set middle. Nicely dug out by Fector. Cook down the line. Perfect scoop by Stanko.
Impressive dig by Stanko.
Another dig. That's Cook. Now can PC be the aggressor? Over to Fector. Cook off balance, hit the antenna. The defense pays off for Presbyterian.
That was an amazing dig by Stanko, and just some tenacity there to lay out and touch that ball and keep it in play. And then Presbyterian got an attack off of it.
Samantha Stanko, 4 career matches and double-figure digs. She's got 7 tonight. Minor goes middle. Cook sneaks in as blocked by Makeda.
A good pass by Layla Green. Unfortunately, that Presbyterian had their block set, and Chloe Cook just turned it back a little too much back to the right side of the court. She might have had a more clear spot going towards the left side of their court.
Presbyterian knew that play was coming, sneaking Cook down the middle. Here's Miller, cross-court swing out. PC still hitting just above basically 0. 6 kills, 5 errors in this set. Campbell hitting 200 in this match. They dominated the first set, 25-13. Tight set to Jones, and oh, yep. Got to let the setter be able to return that, correct?
Yes, I agree with that one. If the ball is not quite in the plane, what we call the plane, which is right above the net, the top of the net, and a blocker goes up and goes over, then they will be called to being over. And that's why it's important as a setter, if you see those tight balls, that you want to go up and try to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The goaltending of basketball, if you will.
Exactly.
With a service error. My argument is, as a former player myself, if the return is that poor, it's up against the net, you should be allowed as the offensive team to put that ball away.
I think so. Of course, I'm a hitter, so I want to put the ball away. I never agree with those.
Free ball over from Battle. Mitter in transition, finds Kala. That is into the back corner. Sarah Kala heating up, 3 kills in this set.
And I think Campbell could do well to set Kala a little bit more and let her attack that side of the court for Presbyterian, especially with the setters having to play defense on that side.
Sydney Miller, trouble with the serve, ace Chloe Cook. That's now 9 aces for Campbell in 2 sets. Timeout, Corinne Burgess and Presbyterian. Tammy PC had this very tight. It was a 3-point difference midway through the set. What has Campbell done to create some separation?
They got a few more kills, I think, that helped it on that. They were also hitting into the block a little bit more, so I think they found their court a little bit more. And now Presbyterian, again, struggling to have a ball in system where they can run a really good offense with all of their hitters.
Presbyterian down Trinity Williams, the junior outside, out with an ACL injury for the rest of the year, and certainly tough for PC. 2-8, a team that was picked 4th in the preseason poll, had potential, but an older team that now looks very young across the roster.
That's just tough when you lose someone like Trinity, who is a go-to hitter and has that many attempts that you rely on. And then asking freshmen to step in and help with that role, or younger classmen who may not haven't had that experience. There is something to say for experience, and I think that's why, you know, we mentioned Layla Green for Campbell. She played so much last year within her freshman year, and so did Melody Page, and that's why it makes them so tough. Like, they're sophomores now with a ton of experience of championship game experience.
Wouldn't be surprised if you see this girl as the freshman of the year in the conference. Chloe Cook out of Texas. Miller almost took out her own teammate. Nice dig by Mitter. Paula triggers along. She wants a touch, but not going to get it.
I'd have to see a replay on that. My eyes aren't that good. Need more, Evan.
Greg Worrell has a couple of challenges in his pocket, but he's going to hang on to them. I think there's a time and place for a challenge. I'm not sure if that's the spot here for Campbell.
Right, when you're up by that much and you know you have control of the match, it's probably not worth putting down the challenge.
Green responds with a kill to the back row. Layla Green, a quiet but effective 7 kills tonight. I am a little surprised to see 22 attacks for Green in 2 sets. That's a lot of swings. Jones against the net, goes back to Cook. Overpass. Now Green's turn.
That was a tough ball. Layla Green wasn't quite transitioned.
That comes up short for Green, point PC. A little bit disjointed here late in the second set. There's Aaron Cook, 8 straight matches with a double-double. She might have a triple-double tonight, but a service error makes it set point.
Now let's see if Presbyterian can respond with a pass here, and Aaron now setting Aaron Cook and what they can do to keep the game going.
Maddie Miner to serve for set 2. Campbell won the first, 25-13. Just out. You talk about putting a serve at a risky point. That puts a lot of pressure on a defense.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think Maddie was hoping that one would go their way and they could defend. Maddie Miner is really great, though, as with her aggressive serving. Her coach Grohl has mentioned, like, she can put the ball anywhere she needs to, or if they were to give her a zone, she could put it there. So I know that's why she's disappointed.
Good dig by Hewitt. Now Miller swings cross court for the point.
Sydney Miller with what we call a 4 for 4 there. Basically right behind the attack line too. That's a great swing.
Referring to positions on the court from the attacking side of things. Stanko serving. Campbell for the set right here. Overpass goes out. Layla Green secures set 2, 25-19. Campbell a 2-set lead as we go to break here on ESPN+.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy pockets. And now they're known for stuffing those pockets with cheese. I love you, cheese. Get a new epic stuffed crust pizza with 1 topping for just $12. Papa John's.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities, in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
In the last 10 years, Emerge Orthopedics has really been on the forefront of doing orthopedic urgent care. We realize that a lot of these accidents happen after hours, and patients want to get seen and get diagnosed and get taken care of. Emerge has a number of orthopedic urgent cares throughout the Triangle, and some of which are open 7 days a week, open till 9 o'clock at night, and that's been a huge benefit to patients. Patients routinely give us compliments on that and the care they receive there.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy pockets. And now they're known for stuffing those pockets with cheese. I love you, cheese. Get a new epic stuffed crust pizza with 1 topping for just $12. Papa John's. Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy pockets. And now they're known for stuffing those pockets with cheese. I love you, cheese. Get a new epic stuffed crust pizza with 1 topping for just $12. Papa John's.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities, in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
In the last 10 years, Emerge Orthopedics has really been on the forefront of doing orthopedic urgent care. We realize that a lot of these accidents happen after hours, and patients want to get seen and get diagnosed and get taken care of. Emerge has a number of orthopedic urgent cares throughout the Triangle, and some of which are open 7 days a week, open till 9 o'clock at night, and that's been a huge benefit to patients. Patients routinely give us compliments on that and the care they receive there.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy pockets. And now they're known for stuffing those pockets with cheese. I love you, cheese. Get a new epic stuffed crust pizza with 1 topping for just $12. Papa John's.
Look at those banners hanging inside Gore Arena. Looking nice tonight, getting our camera kids busy and making them work. I appreciate it. Along with Tammy Freeze, Evan Budrovich getting you set for the 3rd set of the night. Greg Girls Club, 25-13, 25-19. And Tammy in a series that's tied 7 apiece all-time. Campbell has dominated. What have they done in these first 2 sets?
Well, they have really passed well and sided out, as we say, really efficiently. They're siding out, again, over 60%. And typically the team that does that is the team that will win.
Presbyterian trying to shake the rust off of not only a couple straight losses, but down one of their best outside hitters in Trinity Williams. We've seen Erin Cook, who has set ball. She has tug balls, now 4 kills to lead PC, and a little bit of a nice second set from Sydney Miller on the outside.
I think if Presbyterian can get Sydney Miller going like that, that last shot that she had, that was such a sharp cross shot that Campbell was not expecting, then that could help them quite a bit. Again, if getting Erin Cook some more attempts, and then even if Presbyterian can ball control a little bit more on their serve receive to get the middles going a little bit to open up the block more for the outsides, that will help that.
And my favorite part of college volleyball, 15 rotations or substitutions per set, but the libero is free, kind of like the Monopoly when you turn the corner and get your $200. But the complicated math of getting your rotations in order, getting your lineup aligned correctly, it's one of the most mind-boggling things to me about this sport.
Right. Well, as you can see, Greg Gorel has already switched his of where they've started typically. So they're starting with Emily Mitter serving. Sarah Kalla now is in the front row to start with.
Which gives her 3 full rotations in the front, correct?
Yeah, so they might be wanting to get her going a little bit quicker.
That's a good serve by Mitter. An ace 10 aces for Campbell tonight.
I think that's one of Campbell's strengths as well. They really could start in any rotation they wanted to, and no matter what, they're going to have such a strong front row lineup.
This is the first match since 2019 Campbell's had 10 aces in a match. Chloe Cook on a high set tools the block. Things seem to be clicking tonight for Campbell.
It is, and that was a great swing by Chloe, just go off the block. She's really self-aware. That wasn't quite her full approach, but she was able to see that and tool the block.
Nearly an ace. Hewitt scoops it up. Nice dig by Fector. Cook goes over Fector off the block. Oh, watch out.
As Clarion's trying to roll and get out of the way.
Traffic on the 405 tonight. Gracholski touches the floor. Great point, Presbyterian.
That was a smart play to just tip right over the block again. Clarion Fector had gone back to her deep defensive position. I know that makes her mad that she didn't get that second tip.
That would have been a heck of a dig. She's already got 14 of them. Hewitt to serve off the net. Cook misses long.
Campbell players getting a little adamant that there was a touch.
Anna Hewitt, second in this conference in digs. She's averaged 23 a match in her last 5 matches. Paula, insistent. Oh, it's dug up. My goodness. Cook was fantastic. Cook is blocked off her head, and it touches the floor. Just the way she drew it up, right, Tammy Priest?
Oh, that's right. You always want to block with your head versus your hands. So.
Look at that reaction. That tells the story right there. Deep serve to Stanko. Right, frees it over. Now Kala. Hewitt with a great dig. Stanko keeps it up, and Hewitt frees it over.
She just covers so much ground for Presbyterian.
There's Cook to the floor. This is madness in set 3. Well, at least for the moment. Out of bounds off Gracholski.
You see, Presbyterian has made the change. Allie Wright is now playing in the outside position for them. Interesting change that they've made there.
The middle blocker by trade. Without Trinity Williams tonight, having to sub in bodies on that outside. A lot more time for Makeda in the middle. Paula is blocked. That roof for Gracholski.
And that's the tough part about being an outside hitter's job, is when the ball is way behind the attack line and the setter has to set them. The blockers on the other side obviously know they have time to get set up. And so then the outside hitter really has to work to either use the block or find some court space.
Here's Sierra Jones to serve in an entertaining third set. Joust to the net. Oh, we have a lift. Emily Minner with the double touch. Bonnie O'Connor, the officer, is that side official. She is all over it tonight. She's got a couple of those here.
It don't happen often, but she's seen it.
Green, that hit the antenna, point Presbyterian. And the Blue Hose with their first lead of this set.
And the difference, I think, right now on Campbell's side, a little chaotic. Again, passes a little farther off. Setters having to make some longer, farther sets to the outside pin.
Kala goes deep, dug out by Stenko. Right, misses hands, point Campbell. That's a tough task for Allie Wright, who's lived in the middle, leads this team in that department. Now has to shift to the outside. What type of adjustment does that take?
Well, the biggest thing is tempo. Middles are used to running, trying to that quick tempo be up early, and now you're getting a higher set ball to you that you have to change your timing on.
Green knocked it out, trying to save it. That's a kill for Allie Wright.
But I imagine that Coach Burgess just trusted in her leadership. She's a senior.
Two-time all-conference player.
Two-time all-conference player. Then if there's anybody you're going to make a change to try to get back into this match, why not rely on your senior?
We asked Corinne Burgess, how do you replace Trinity Williams? She said Wright and Cook need to be on it all night. Fector able to free it back. Green misses long. Presbyterian showing some great fight in this third set.
They are, and they're really setting up well on their blocks, making it more difficult on Campbell's attackers.
There's Abby Sparkman. She redshirted her last season, back and healthy this year. Deep serve to Gross. Kala soaring in down the line.
And that's why she's just so effective on the right side. That swing down the line, if you can hit that spot, and even if your libero's there like Presbyterians, that ball is just so hard.
Sarah Call, the preseason player of the year, showing you why on that swing. Hewitt returns the float serve. Nice on the slide for Jordan Makeda.
That was a great pass by Anna Hewitt. She really got her left angle platform out there and insists on Presbyterian can run that slide.
Minor goes middle. Ananda Patterson's first swing dug up. Now Sydney Miller. Vector to the floor. And 4 touches, point Presbyterian.
Presbyterian feeling some confidence, some energy now that they have the lead and have made some really great defensive plays. I don't know if anything gets a team really more excited than a really hard kill or a really great defense.
Service error returns the favor from Jordan Makeda. You do wonder if you're Greg Worrell, do you keep those timeouts in your pocket or let this match continue to play out?
I think for Campbell, they can handle this little bit of a 2-point lag, and they're just gonna be able to grind and get back into it. So I wouldn't waste it here.
Jones sets the offense. Miller touches net. Point Campbell. There's Kate Menz to serve. She's got 4 kills tonight, 3rd on the team behind Green and Cook. Jones, awkward angle on the set. Cook dug out by Minor. Cook part 2 off the hands. Now the Cookie Monster with a swing that beats the block. Patterson goes out, point Presbyterian.
Almost picked up there by Ananda Patterson, but again, Aaron Cook with just that heavy arm, it can just blast through some blocks.
5 kills, 4 assists, 6 digs for Cook. Doing everything, but she does serve it out there. As a player, I guess you have to embrace that role, right, when you're asked to do so much, but it is taxing for someone like Aaron Cook.
Absolutely. But again, she's a junior now, a leader who's used to that.
Hewitt to the floor. Now Cook sets it out to Miller. And point Presbyterian.
That's another, that sharp cross, that attack that we're seeing from Miller is being effective.
Sydney Miller hit just 100 in her last match. Coming alive here tonight. And now Samantha Stenko, whose sister Brittany played up the road at NC State. Here she is to serve. Good serve by Stenko. Cook misses wide on the cross-court swing. PC with his largest lead of his 3rd set.
Campbell's struggling a little bit, I think, of having that set a little bit more on the nets. Chloe was a little far out, so it's made a kind of a difficult swing. So they need to get back in their rhythm of making that nice tempo.
Minor middle, Wilson dug up. Guess who? Cook again.
Cook again.
Minor to Chloe Cook. And that touched the antenna. Point Presbyterian. Or a net violation, I think.
I saw the antenna move, so I wasn't quite sure what they said there.
The lead call there from Callie Davis, our head referee.
Line judge was pointing towards the antenna.
Nonetheless, point Presbyterian. And a 4-1 run for the Blue Hose, answered by Cook on the cross-court swing. Was waiting for Chloe Cook to get rolling. 25 swings, now 6 kills and 5 digs.
You notice a change for Campbell. Kate Mintz is now playing in the back row as opposed to Layla Green. We'll see what that does when Kate gets towards the front row, if they make that sub and put Layla back in.
Vector to bump set Cook. Good hands, and point Presbyterian. First reps for Hannah Chapman, the senior middle. Making a nice job at the net. An ace for Presbyterian. Stanko extends the lead. Timeout, Campbell trying to stop the run from Presbyterian. We'll take the timeout as well. Back inside Gore Arena, Presbyterian with a response here in set 3, trying to avoid the sweep. And Tammy, a 6-1 run, really led by the Blue Hosts serving tonight.
Yes, they're serving more aggressive. They've gotten Campbell out of rhythm. And again, when Campbell is not passing, they cannot run their middles, and it makes it easier to defend.
Emily Minner with a bump set to Kala, who rips a missile out of play. 9 hitting errors for Campbell in this set.
That's they're currently hitting negative. That means that's not good for efficiency.
Oddly, Presbyterian just 4 kills in this set, taking advantage of serving and Campbell's mistakes. Cook on a soft touch. Now Miller. Minner goes out to Kala. And as you mentioned, we have not seen Layla Green much in this third set. There's an antenna touch. Raholski on the miss. That's given more time for players like Kala in the front row. And also Kate Menz just played all 6 rotations. There's Chloe Cook to serve. Right into the net. We mentioned the 10 aces tonight, but also 6 errors now for Campbell.
In an error like that in the net, it's usually just that toss could be a little off, just your contact. And then fatigue can start to play a factor at this point.
Good serve by Sierra Jones. And the roll shot to the backside. Hewitt missed it. Minner to Kala. That hit the net, out of bounds. Oh no, we get hand contact. Point Campbell. I didn't see it, but Campbell will certainly take it.
Yeah, down ref saw the touch off the block, so before it hit the antenna.
How about our ref in the booth here, Tammy Freeze? That's what I want, Tammy's opinion.
I saw that one. Now, don't ask me to line judge.
Off balance touch there by Makeda. Now Menz. Jones finds Miller. That ball finds the floor. Allie Wright gives PC a 6-point lead.
Allie Wright just mixing up some shots and testing Campbell's defense, just throwing that off speed there to see if Kate Mintz, as the off blocker, was ready and she was able to score.
Campbell in the first 2 sets, they were siding out at a 60% rate. That's dropped down to 50% here in this third set. Menz insistent. Dug up by Hewitt. That stops a 5-0 run.
What I find interesting is Campbell is still hitting towards Hewitt, and she's still touching a lot of balls. If I was Campbell, I would really try to mix it up and keep balls away from Hewitt and test everyone else out on their defense.
Hewitt is the career digs leader at Greenwood High School, now a freshman in her first full season. It's got to be nice to have your name in the record books at your own high school.
Absolutely.
Tammy, where'd you go to high school? I don't think I've ever asked you.
South Brunswick High School. We were the Cougars.
Very common name at the prep level. I was the Knights.
The Knights, okay.
Bishop Montgomery in Los Angeles.
All right.
Here's Maddie Miner from North Branch, Michigan. An ace from Miner. Back to a 3-point game.
And this is where Campbell's going to want to make that run. They want to put that ball in play, get some stops on defense to get them back to 18.
Deep serve. Now Cook off hands. Miner middle, Page blocked. Men's off the net. Bump set to Cook. Good return. Jones goes middle. Ball finds the floor. Makeda.
Again, Makeda testing out Campbell's defense. Not typical of Campbell to let a ball hit the floor without some type of move.
Dangerous float serve by Makeda. The bump is scooped up by Jones with a joust at the net. Cook on a tight angle, denied by Patterson.
It was a nice solid press by Ananda Patterson. She had her hands way over the net in plenty of time to challenge Aaron Cook's swing.
That's been PC's strength. 7 blocks as a team, and the 4th for Campbell tonight. As now Layla Green comes in. Leads everybody with 8 kills tonight. But skipped a whole rotation on the back row. She returns now on a crucial point. Cook again. Cook part 2. That hits antenna, point Presbyterian. See, they're both Cook. They're both number 3. There's a lot to that.
and currently, just were matched up against each other at the net.
Yeah, both in the same rotation as well. That's pretty neat. This is Aaron Cook out of Davidson, North Carolina. Oh, miscommunication. Miner wanted the back set. And PC is 4 points away from the set.
And this is going to be really important for Campbell, too. That it's so important as they get tired, as matches go on, you have to continue to communicate at a high level.
Miner out to Chloe Cook. Good dig. Sparkman gets it up. Miller over the double. That's a rocket. Presbyterian in transition. Bumped by Hewitt. Miller into the chest of Green. Cook, the soft touch. There's Cook. Roholski on a nice little angle there. Green to the floor.
Campbell keeps going to that middle hole in the middle, but Presbyterian's defense is there.
Miller into the net, makes it a 4-point game. There's been a new level of scrappiness from Presbyterian in this 3rd set.
Absolutely, especially again when you have the lead and you have control of the set, that does something to you.
Miner out to Cook, goes left-handed. Hewitt the bump. Graholski into the chest of Fector. Green from the back row, good hands up front. Nothing coming easy. Cook saves it. And Hewitt frees it over.
Let's see what Campbell can do with this free ball.
Cook terminates the point. What's it going to take for a ball to touch the floor late in this 3rd set?
Presbyterian, they're doing a good job really just having 2 players play deep on their defense. Again, this rotational defense, as we call it. The setter pushes up right behind the block. The left front off blocker is up close. So they're covering a lot of court with just 2 players.
A double rotation here for Presbyterian. Paige Cairns, the sophomore, comes into the back row. She'll rotate to the front. And Hannah Chapman in the middle has been so clutch up front. She returns. Minor in transition. Good dig, back row. Cook puts it down. Timeout, Presbyterian. It's a 2-point difference here in the third. So Tammy, we've seen Campbell get on a run here to close out set 3. What's it going to take for either of these teams to win this set?
I think Presbyterian, if they can continue to get those transition kills, digging up balls and making plays, they're tipping to spots on the court, challenging Campbell's defense. Campbell just needs to get back to some of their attacks and placing it in different spots on the court. They've gone to Anna Hewitt quite a bit as libero. They've tipped or rolled to the middle. The middles haven't quite given their setters some spacing where they can have some more open net. So I think if Campbell could attack more the right side of the court, then they're going to be able to put balls away.
You mentioned liberos, busy day for both. Fector has tied her career high with 21 digs. And Hewitt already 18 digs. She's been all over the court, especially in this set.
Clarion Fector, I must say, again, a freshman for Campbell, playing in the libero role and just touching. She just touches so many balls and just has such great ball control.
Sounds like a COVID nightmare, but a great defensive tool. Fector to serve on a 3-0 run for the Fighting Camels, trying to take this match in straight sets. Serving return error for Sparkman. That's 13 aces for Campbell tonight at a critical time.
Campbell spends a lot of time on serving every practice. There's a good chunk devoted to serving.
Cairns into the net, and PC starting to unfold. This is a 5-0 run. Cook goes middle. Chapman finds the, whoa, no, doesn't. Great defense. Cook pushes out. Cairns dug up by Layla Green. Cook's ball goes out, and a great touch by Maddie Miner.
That was a heads-up play by Miner. I think she wanted to give her attackers a break from the back and forth, and so decided to dump, but put it in a different spot this time.
Campbell close out this set. They're on a 6-0 spurt. More return errors. Sparkman having trouble. Timeout, Corinne Burgess, and that's the story of this match, Tammy. PC's inability to return a serve.
Back to what Campbell was doing in the very beginning, that aggressive serve. Presbyterian having trouble passing, and they can't get off an attack. So
13 aces is substantial in 3 sets, and we've seen it on this run. 3 or 4 aces mixed in. If you're PC, how do you settle in and get a ball into system?
I think you got to try to put Anna Hewitt in the best possible position if they can move their serve receiver around at all, where hopefully she can either take it from someone else and be that passer, and again, just regroup so they can set up their offense.
Campbell has targeted Abby Sparkman a lot, the defensive specialist. And if you're Corinne Burgess, you can only hide so many players in your rotations. It's difficult to eliminate all the options.
Absolutely. You know, what's interesting is both teams are actually hitting negative, though, as we come here to these final points. So it's really...
It's been a scrappy third set.
Yeah. Lots of defense, more hitting errors.
Doesn't sound like what the former outside hitter Oppo, Tammy Freeze, would do in her playing career. Campbell on a 7-0 run.
They're sticking with their serve receive, but Anna Hewitt is in the middle of the court where she could take up a lot of space.
Cook on the set. Cairns, that's a strong swing. Point Presbyterian.
I can't help but imagine if Cairns had more swings like that early on, and just had that another player for Campbell to have to worry about.
3 hitters for PC at negative hit percentages. It's been Aaron Cook, who now has another double-double. 12 digs. She's been setting. She has 5 kills, getting the job done. Also 3 blocks, because why not? Stanko on the serve. Minor out to Cook. Point Campbell.
And that's what a great pass will do. Layla Green pass, perfect pass. Haley Wilson goes up, holds the middle. Chloe Cook ends up with a split block, and when you have a split block, you put the ball away.
A 7-1 run sets up match point. Mitter to serve. Cook out to right. Now Chloe Cook. Misses long. Presbyterian 1 point from tying it.
I think Chloe was trying to go somewhere else away from Presbyterian's libero. Didn't quite snap hard on that ball to make it land.
How about this? Anna Hewitt, the heart and soul of this team, serving for the match. Sarah Kalla misses long, and we're tied at 24. Timeout, Greg Goral and Campbell, as PC fights off 2 straight match points.
And that, again, the passing's so important. So the difference in that last point, just Layla Green had to pass the ball, and it just didn't get up close to the attack line. So now you're out of system. The tempo's higher. Sarah Kalla has to adjust, and that can be a tough ball to put into play.
Campbell went on a 7-1 run to take the lead. Then PC comes back with 2 straight points. You wonder how this translates to the rest of this match if Presbyterian can get the next 2 points and force set 4.
I think then it's going to come down to coming back to some of that energy, that communication, and then getting hitters back in rhythm. There's been a lot of errors on both sides in this net that have affected this set.
Campbell in this set hitting -42, 12 hitting errors. What they've lived on is those aces, 13 aces in the match. And something's got to give. PC serve receive and Campbell's passing. What's going to give first?
We'll see. We're about to find out.
Oh, that's the cop-out answer, Terry. I want predictions. Well, this is the 3rd match. This is critical. The winner of this game, Campbell can move to 8-3.
I feel Campbell's going to pass a good ball here, and then that's going to open them up, their offense up.
Anna Hewitt to serve for the match one more time. Misses. Match point Campbell.
Interesting serve by Presbyterian. I think they were either trying to hit Layla Green on her left side or really go after Sarah Kalla short. I would have went aggressive, and maybe I would have gone off Chloe Cook, but fortunate for Campbell.
Wright gets it over. Factor the dig. Nice scoop up. That's Stanko. Campbell swings for the match. Joust at the net is kept up. Rokowski. Oh, great dig. Point Presbyterian.
Some interesting touches there in that last rally.
Credit to Stanko, who saved the match with that dig. She's been busy in the back row. Now Sierra Jones, the senior 3-year starter with 1,600 career assists, comes in to serve. But misses.
Missed quite long on that float serve. Just trying to push Campbell's passing line back.
This is the 5th match point for Campbell tonight.
Let's see if Campbell can get Presbyterian out of system again.
Jones back set. Dug up by Wilson. Green picked up by the Blue Hose. Wright gets it over. Page, Stanko again. Hewitt the free ball. That just sneaks over. Green for the match. There's Hewitt. Allie Wright's turn. Good defense by Cook. Green off the block and down. Campbell wins the match in straight sets.
I think Layla was just glad that one landed and Campbell all together. But what a last few points in the rally, the defense, the defensive touches.
No player with more than 10 kills in this match. Layla Green's 9th ends this matchup. And for Tammy Freeze, Anna Mudrovich signing off from Buies Creek. Campbell moves to 8-3 on the season with a straight set win over Presbyterian. You can watch this match on ESPN later tonight and on the ESPN app. But for us here in Buies Creek, we say good night.